you've probably heard of PAX, Penny Arcade's Expo convention, where they do video games, board games, comics. They do all kinds of stuff, right?
And we actually talked before because I actually worked at a booth, I think 2 years ago.
At PAX in Boston, right?
Yes, PAX East.
Well, they just announced the brand new PAX Unplugged, which is exclusively focusing on tabletop games. And the first, and as of this recording only, event will be held in Philadelphia at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. It's going to run from November 2017. It's the 17th to the 19th.
Of course, they set this up after I moved out of Philly because I used to live like 3 blocks from that convention center.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, are you kidding me?
So tickets have not gone on sale yet. They said spring. But you can sign up for a newsletter, and they did recommend you book your hotel room already. I don't even know. Who knows? They might be gone by now. But this is interesting for a couple reasons. Number one, it's a big deal. It's a brand new convention from PAX just for board games. It's very close to us. It's on the East Coast. And if I'm not mistaken, it's either the same week or week before or after Board Game Geek Con this year. So it's, even though it's in a totally different state and part of the country, it's almost in direct competition with Board Game Geek Con. But you, having been to PAX, and you've seen some of their tabletop stuff, which according to them they're still going to have at regular PAX, but this is just mostly focused on it. I mean, how much board game stuff had you seen?
They actually had a really good amount. Like,
okay,
when the big conventions, that most people, when you say conventions to probably someone who's not maybe as deep into nerd culture, would think the Comic-Cons.
Sure.
That's the sort of catch-all for everything. And we've gone to New York Comic Con multiple times, and how much board gaming stuff would you say is like...
The most we saw one year, there were like 2 booths.
Right. Like, it's not even... It's
and
like,
it was crazy.
And it's like it's just stores. It's not really like a focus on... So when I went to PAX, I wasn't expecting that, because, I'm expecting video games. And obviously, when you go in, the big booths with all the giant statues are video game related. When I went there, Overwatch was just being released, so there's a big Overwatch thing, which is cool. But then where I went, like behind the booth, there was a whole bunch of independent people doing Kickstarter, like bringing their game demos there. White Wizard was there, and I got to actually talk with them and see the app and see that they just released their new Ascension expansion there. They really give board games a very good, decent light, personally. I was very happy with what I saw there.
That's
maybe it's because of pessimism from New York Comic Con.
Why do you think Comic Con hasn't spread to Comic Con yet? Because board games are so huge.
My theory, and I think you've mentioned this before. It's one of the reasons our biggest gripes, I think, with the Comic Con, outside of the Javits Center, but that's a whole nother boat.
We haven't been to San Diego, which is of course the big one.
Is that it's more of like, it's not even on the nerd culture and dealing. It's more like it's almost more for normal people who just happen to see the movies and TV shows at a glance.
Yeah, when you have movies,
does the word comic doesn't even matter? Does that matter in there?
It's true. Yeah, no, the TV and movies really have pushed a lot of stuff out there. That's true. But that's so. It sounds like they've definitely have a good start.
Yeah, no, I definitely think the PAX attached to board games is not a bad thing. I don't think it's going to be video games and like, oh, look, there's some dice rolling Monopoly over there. Like,
right.
They will give what we would actually want. And I'm almost certain, things apply, depending on calendars and stuff, that we will try our best to be there.
Yeah, if it becomes an ongoing thing, and it's always in Philadelphia, definitely at least once gonna we could drive in. We don't even need to get a hotel. We can just go in for a day.
No, I've done that drive multiple times early in the morning, so I know it. I know it well.
Yeah, no, and it's by default almost. This is like now, even just by being announced, this is like the 4th biggest board game convention, because after you got Board Game Geek Con, Gen Con, and Essen. And the fact that we can now add a PAX to that group, that's a big deal. Yeah, it's a big part of that family. So we're seeing another large entry.
The other really big important thing is, and I'll say this, the PAX on their own did a great job of doing the board games. But what this does is, because the board games now take the front step in front of the video games, that the people who go to PAX, who mostly go there for gaming, video gaming stuff, might see the word PAX and like, okay, I trust these people for good reasons. I'm gonna see what happens here.
Right.
And that's a very good thing, because that will broaden the community. It'll bring that, I think, will not only bring the video gamers, then more people buy, and we'll probably see more crossover. I mean, we've already seen like Bloodborne, Mega Man. I mean, you have Uncharted, but that one, I'm not sure. That came in sort of weird. But like, we'll see more like those kind of titles come in. What also would be interesting is if we can get the developers that might go to PAX, and then they can come here and maybe work on some more app-related board games. I'm not talking just like an app version of like for digital reviews like Mysterium or Cult Express, but I mean something like Mansions of Madness, something that takes advantage of an app for a game, and we can come up with even more really interesting, unique ways to grow the board game experience.
Yeah, that we could. There's definitely some potential for digital board crossover there. So, super excited. It's really cool that they're doing this. If you're in the area and you manage to get a ticket, I don't know how limited it's going to be, but you can go online, check out the links, and get on that newsletter early if you really think you want to go.
If I recall, the Philly Convention Center is very nice, like in terms of size. So
that's good.
I am now also going to be very salty with the fact that it didn't happen while I was living there, because I still wish I could walk to it, because that was. God, that was nice.
If only.
Yes.
We can't have quite everything.
No, we can't.